Hello again, everyone. My name is Vani'Tra, a doctoral student studying business administration at California Intercontinental University, and this time we'll be taking a look at the chi-square test of independence. So, the agenda for the topic at hand is pretty simple. We'll look at chi-square and Cramer's V. And then we'll also dig a little into Cramer's V chart. Then we'll be looking at the variables used in the test. And then we'll look at the results for each of the tests we ran, those three you see there. We'll then talk about some takeaways from this whole presentation. And at the end, you can ask me any questions you have by leaving a comment or question below the video. So, chi-square is designed to analyze and illustrate the relationship between two categorical variables. It is understood that there is no distribution. It's assumed data is collected by random selection, and it is denoted by this symbol here. Cramer's V calculates the relationship between variables where a significant relationship is found. It is used when we reject the null hypothesis. It's important to realize that Cramer's V is different from the p-value. This is a Cramer's V chart, and it helps us to interpret the strength of association between these variables. As you can see, it is broken down into different sections, with one being perfectly symmetric. It's very important to realize that one isn't a very common strength associated with Cramer's V. So whenever you have a 1, make sure you check and maybe even triple check your numbers. Here, you can see the variables that were used in each test, and you can see that we ran 3 tests. You can see that there are num-cars, which stands for the number of car payments per month. There are num-defaults, which is the number of defaults incurred by the participants. And there's light comfort, which stands for the self-reported comfort level of the participant with the current financial standing. For the first test, the following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis states that there is no relationship between the number of car payments per month and the number of defaulted payments incurred. The alternative hypothesis states that there is a relationship between the number of car payments per month and the number of defaulted payments incurred. The chi-square statistics and its p-value were calculated using PSPP, assuming a significance level of 0.05. No relationship emerged. The chi-square equaled 6.68 with 6 degrees of freedom, n equaling 150, and p-value equaling 0.351. Test number 2 was quite similar. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis states that there is no relationship between the participant's comfort level with their current financial standing and the number of defaulted payments incurred, while the alternative hypothesis states that there is a relationship between the participant's comfort level with their current financial standing and the number of defaulted payments incurred. The chi-square statistics and its p-value were calculated using PSPP, assuming a significance level of 0.05. No relationship emerged. The chi-square level equaled 6.68 with 6 degrees of freedom, n equaling 150, and the p-level equaling 0.351. The third and final test was quite different from the first two. The following correlation test was conducted. The null hypothesis states that there is no relationship between the number of car payments per month and the comfort level with their current financial standing, while the alternative hypothesis states that there is a relationship between the number of car payments per month and the comfort level with their current financial standing. The chi-square statistics and its p-value were calculated using PSPP, assuming a significance level of 0.05. A relationship emerged. The chi-square level equals 450 with 9 degrees of freedom, n equaling 150, and the p-value equaling 0.00. Since there was a relationship that emerged, the Cramer's V was found equaling 1.00. Cramer's V indicated a perfectly symmetric relationship, which is very rare. These are some things I would love for you to take away from this presentation. PSPP is a very resourceful tool to use when conducting the test. When using PSPP, make sure you also find Cramer's V for those instances where you have a significant correlation and we reject the null. Conducting the chi-square test is done by clicking the Analyze button, the Descriptive Stats, Cross tab, then you set your variables. You also click on Statistics. You make sure you check the chi-square and the phi or phi tabs. You click Continue and then OK. One of the most important things I would like for you to take away is that perfect symmetry is very rare. So be careful and check your work. And that is it for this presentation. I want to thank you all for watching this, for taking your time out. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below so we can discuss the topic at hand. Thank you once again.